welcome back to Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. I'm Coach Nye. So today's class for the week is releasing fear. To release fear. So this lesson will help you understand that fear is often misunderstood. Fear is not always a warning about the future. It is often a response shaped by the past experiences that you've had, memories, or unresolved emotions. Healing begins when you learn to recognize the fear without letting it control your decision. So, the theme that we're going to, and I want you to focus on for the rest of the week, is let go to grow. Let go to grow. Okay? So, today's lesson comes from the RPI step, R for release. RPI is to acknowledge, release, practice, enter, explore, and empower. Today, we're dealing with the R for release. It focuses on releasing fear, shame, old narratives, emotional baggages, soul ties, and limiting beliefs. This is where mental detoxing truly begins. So let's look at how fear becomes a mental prison. Fear becomes limiting when it is not questioned. Okay, it can show up as overthinking, overthinking every decision, avoiding opportunities, or even just avoiding change, staying in comfort zones that no longer serve you, and doubting your ability before you even try. When fear goes unchallenged, it creates invisible boundaries that keep you stuck in the same emotional and mental space. Now let's look at fear versus intuition. It is important to learn the difference between fear and intuition. Fear is loud, it's anxious, it's repetitive, it's often rooted in pain. It creates urgency and panic. Okay? Intuition is calm, it's steady, clear, and grounded. It does not force, it guides. It's the calmness. Fear tries to protect you from discomfort. Intuition guides you towards alignment and growth. Learning this difference helps you stop confusing emotional distress with spiritual direction. It is so important for you to calm your nervous system. When you calm the nervous system, you are able to use it as your discernment. So let's look at number 3, trauma-driven versus purpose-driven decision making. Your decisions are often shaped by one or two places. Either it's trauma-driven or purpose-driven. Trauma-driven decisions is based on avoidance, fear of failure, rejection, or pain. These decisions focus on safety over growth. Purpose-driven decisions, on the other hand, is based on alignment, values, and long-term visions. These decisions focus on growth even when it feels uncomfortable. Healing is learning to pause and ask, am I choosing from fear or from purpose? Okay? So the next one, fear-based inner narratives. Fear often speaks through internal stories such as, what if I fail? I'm not ready. It's safer to stay where I am. People will judge me. These narratives feel real, but they often are rooted in past experiences, not present truth. Rewriting these narratives is part of reclaiming your power. So always challenge your thoughts. What if I fail? Ask yourself, what if I succeed? Challenge it, rewrite it. Why would you fail? Whose standard are you running against? Challenge it, rewrite it. So fear is often a memory, not a prophecy. Let's get that down pat. What you are afraid of is often something you have experienced before, like a past traumatic issue, trauma. I'm sorry, things that you went through that was so traumatic. So it's things that you've experienced. This is not something that is guaranteed to happen again. I think I used the example. Let's look at lightning. Someone gets struck by lightning. The chances of that happening is slim to none, but it happened. But if you hide from it in fear, it's not the prophecy that it's going to happen every time. It's not guaranteed it's going to happen every time. So you have to look at things. Yes, that happened to you. Something happened to you, but it's not guaranteed. This is how you learn to rewire your brain. You have to rewire your brain because fear will keep you isolated. Fear will keep you in a place that's mental distress, emotionally distressed, and won't allow you to grow in life. It'll allow you to stay stagnant and not reach your potential because of fear. So challenge it, rewrite it. Learn the different cues. And this is for self healing. Now, if it's really deep rooted, definitely get a therapist. I recommend a therapist to everyone to help you work through those problems. Maybe some cognitive behavior therapy, something in that nature. But with self healing, I want you to acknowledge what it is that you feel, what it is that you fear, and I need you to calm down and just ask yourself, is this guaranteed to happen again? Is there a possibility that it couldn't happen? Challenge your thoughts. Now, most fear comes from the inner child, not the future. Fear is often an emotional echo from your younger experiences where you did not feel safe, right, or supported. So, all of our emotions stem from our childhood. The way we protect ourselves, defend ourselves, that was established in our childhood. And as I always explain, we never grow up, right? We never grow up until you get to your wholesome state and start to heal. We never grow up. We just expand outward, meaning that as a child, when fear came, your defense was to fight, maybe. So you started fighting. And instead of growing, saying that I don't have to fight, I don't have to do that, you don't know anything about healing. What you did is you became a better fighter. You became better with your words, more sharp with your tone and words and things like that. You just, expanded instead of growing out of that. So most fear comes from the inner child. And that's what healing is about, getting to that inner child and putting the correct emotions and teaching the inner child that it's okay, it's a safe place. So you can feel fear and move forward anyway. That's courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the action taken in the presence of fear. Now, I'm going to 3 exercises. I always give a mental, spiritual, and a physical exercise that you can do. So, for the mental, I want you to do is fear. It's a fear thought audit. That's what we'll call it. Fear thought audit. You're going to identify a fear, and as I said, this is self healing. If you cannot self heal, if it's hard for you to self heal, and it's deep rooted in real trauma, then get you a therapist. And if you don't know, don't touch it. Get you a therapist. Okay. So I want you to identify a fear. I want you to write the worst case scenario. Then I want you to write the best case scenario. Then identify the most realistic scenario. This interrupts that catastrophic thinking. Okay, that's your mental exercise. And then physical, I want you to do the long exhale, breathe, and this will deactivate the sympathetic nervous system. So here we go. I want you to inhale for 4 seconds through your nose and out your mouth for 8 seconds. And I want you to repeat that 6 times. This is regulating, having you self-regulate, grounding yourself. Now, your soul exercises, I want you to place your hand on your heart and say, I am safe. My future is safe. My growth is safe. This is how you self-regulate in the moment that your anxiety pick up or fear steps in. I want you to get in the present, in the second, in the moment right now. And I want you to acknowledge what's around you. And every time I just want you to place your hand over your heart. Right now, in this second, are you safe? I am safe. Now, if 5 seconds later, when you take that next step, is your future safe? My future is safe. Okay. Now, for you to learn, for this to be a learning experience and you take it as a learning experience, is that safe? My growth is safe. That's what I want you to do. I want you to walk yourself through it, talk yourself through it. Because that I even had to experience that I had to learn how to stand in the moment and say, okay, I'm safe. This anxiety, remember, anxiety is future. Anxiety is future. I'm not even in the future. My anxiety picked up because the thought of something. Don't ever give the enemy a thought. You give him a thought, he'll take you to the future and have you freaking out when that is, the scenarios that never happen. No. So let's do our declaration. I release fear. I choose courage. I release fear. I choose courage. Now your journaling prompts. What fear has controlled me for years? What is this fear protecting me from? And what would my life look like without this fear? And then I want you to do one small action tomorrow or today that fear normally stops you from doing. And be mindful, if it's tough for you, get you a therapist, okay? And then we have the discussion questions that I would ask you guys if I was live, but this is something you can use them as the tabletop talk to talk with your friends, or you can even journal about it. What fear are you ready to release? And how does fear show up in your body? Okay, so that is the end of class. Listen, as always, I love teaching you guys. If you have not downloaded, go ahead, download it, share it with a friend, and show up every day for your daily reflection with Coach Nye that I set, and to help you set intentions, give you something to reflect on and stay focused on for the day as you continue to grow and become the better version of yourself. Now, I teach every weekday on TikTok a leadership course. It's for women, men attend, and it's okay. As long as they're respectful. I can't stop them anyway, it's live. But I teach over there a leadership course of the Lead Her Movement network. It's the Lead Her Movement show. So you guys join me over there. My TikTok is Chat with Coach Nye. I also teach on YouTube. You get homework there, and I teach courses over on YouTube. My YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. TikTok, Chat with Coach Nye. YouTube, Chat with Coach Nye. Everywhere you need is Chat with Coach Nye. If you want to get on the email subscriber list to receive the weekly homework assignments that I email out, and they're for free, it is tofbootcamp.com, tofbootcamp.com. Sign up for the email subscriber list and look around. It's my website as well. And ladies, if you want to be a part of an environment where women were growing in sisterhood, then go ahead and subscribe to Lead Her Movement Network, leadhermovement.mn.co, leadhermovement.mn.co. Listen, you guys have an amazing rest of the night. And if no one told you today, I'm telling you now, I love you and I'm so proud of you. Remember to pour into yourself before you pour into others. Coach Nye out.